Donald Trump is seeing jury after jury after jury. In Washington, D.C., he's going to be at a jury pool. Only 6% of the population voted for him. Okay? If you were advising, how do you get them to understand the case from his perspective? What would you be advising his attorneys?
I would absolutely do what I call plaintiffing the defense. You have got to put the prosecution on trial. You don't want to go in there and defend Donald Trump. You want to put the other side on trial. You need to. You're gonna come off a whole lot better if you can flip the script and say we need to decide what the motives are of the other side of this case, and I would be asking them to ask themselves, you're a first draft historian here. What are you going to write? Are you going to put together a case here where you are bringing this case in a way that is actually going to alter the course of American politics, or are you going to let the electorate make a decision? And I think you have to put the other side on trial. I think you'll do a whole lot better by plaintiffing the defense instead of defending the defense. I think you're a lot better off if you put the other side on trial instead of defending your guy.
And is that because
6% voted for your guy?
Let's talk about, you're coming to Texas. You're starting a new network. And, well, tell me about the network.
Well, it's Merritt Street Media, and it's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week network. We're launching on April 7th.
That is hard.
It is more than hard.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 4 hours a day of news, and the news is going to be factual. It's going to be based on, empirical fact, and let people decide whether they think it's good news or bad news. That's up to them. And my show is nightly in prime time, and we have a lot of others that are involved. Nancy Grace is going to be on. She'll be kind of at the top of our true crime vertical. Micro is on. Bear Grylls is on. We've got there'll be some of my shows from daytime. We'll have some legacy programming. Got a really interesting show from the Behavior Panel. I don't know if you've run across these guys. They're guys I've worked with from law enforcement that they're from the military, Homeland Security, law enforcement, guys that are really experts in deception, detection, and interrogation and all, and they're going to have a really good time analyzing people that, from politicians to
oh my gosh, is that great?
To every walk of life, and these guys are the best in the world. They get down to pupil dilation, blink rate.
Wow.
There are some things, if you're interrogating somebody and they're lying, 90% of the time their feet are pointed towards the exit. There are just things that people just don't know. If you're lying, your blink rate goes from an average of 15 to into the 70s or 80s. It's like playing whack-a-mole. There are so many indications and signs that even if you know them all, you can't control them all. And it's really interesting what we get into with these guys. There's lots of things like that. So It's going to be great, and we think we're going to launch into somewhere between 75 and 90 million homes day one. It's
wow.
It's going to be.
What's
great.
the network called? Merit Street?
Yeah, Merit Street Media. The call signs when you pull it up on DirecTV or Dish or whatever will be Merit, and that wasn't chosen at random, as you might guess.
So let me ask you. I mean, I built this, and I'm 60 now, and I built it at 50, and it damn near broke me. Why? You don't need the money. You don't need the fame. Why are you doing this?
I ask myself that once in a while.
I mean, how's that working out for you?
You know, Glenn, I really, it's, I tell people if you don't have a passion in your life, you need to find one. And you're right. I don't need to do this. I want to do this. I'm more excited about launching this network than I was when I launched Dr. Phil back in 2002, and that was very exciting.
Why?
Because I feel like this country is really in danger right now. I feel like we are under attack from within. And I think we've got a lot of things going on right now that I have relevant information about. I think I have some things to say. I remember, Roger King. You remember Roger King? He was king of syndication. And I remember right over here at the Four Seasons out in the
Las Colinas.
Yeah. That was the first interview I gave when we was getting ready to take the show out to sell. And for people that don't know, when you're in syndication, they sell your show market by market. Now everything's so...
Yeah.
Now it's 6 or 7 groups. It used to be 200. It'd be maybe 3 or 4 big groups, but then the rest of it, you went market by market. But I remember he said, all right, we're going to make a pitch reel for this show. So sit down there, we're going to ask you some questions. And the first question he asked is, all right, what's the show going to be about? And I remember the first things I said on camera about it, I said, I want to talk about things that matter to people who care. And I didn't plan that or think about it. It just came out. I said, I want to talk about things that matter to people who care. And I want to deliver common sense, usable information to people's homes every day for free. And how can that not work? And I was right. I mean, if you talk about things that matter to moms and dads and husbands and wives and, whoever, and those things that matter have changed. As I said, when smartphones came out, it changed. And over the last few years, it's changed to include more social issues than it used to because so much is going on. People are concerned about immigration. They're concerned about so many things that 5 years ago it wasn't on their radar as much.
I was surprised to see you down on the border, and you were clear on that. You've been clear on a few things.
Yeah. Well, I'm not one to, like I said, be who you are on purpose and do it with intention. When I was asking those guys about that, I said, why haven't you talked about this? I said, nobody's asked us this question in this pointed a fashion. I said, are we sending children off into prostitution with tax dollars? They said, yes. I said, and it's not in the clip, but I said, there's a camera, you're on camera, right?
Right.
And he said, yeah, I know. I'm glad you're asking it. In fact, in the clip, it says, I'm grateful you're asking. Nobody's asking. What the hell? Nobody's that. What are you kidding me?